everybody, this is Tammy from Viva Real Estate. I know a lot of you out there are thinking about buying a property in San Carlos, and the process of buying the property is very exciting and fun, picking out your house. But the part that I find that people are most overwhelmed with and they feel that just seems a little bit over their head is a part about the bank trusts and how that whole process works. As a foreigner, if you're living within 100 kilometers of the border or 50 kilometers from the ocean or the beaches, the foreigner has to have their property held in a bank trust. So I wanted to go over some basic steps about how the process works for a bank trust, and this will be just a quick summary. If you have any questions or want to get detailed information, you're going to have to come see me at our office here in Plaza Arrecifes in the San Carlos Arco gas station. So anyway, let's start out with, once you have the contract signed, now what happens? So the very first step that we'll do is we'll have a letter of instruction, we call the LOI, that's from the sellers to the bank. This letter of instruction will include a lot of supporting documents like your passport and IDs and some forms from the bank. Those documents and the letter of instruction will go to the bank. This will be for either a cancellation, a cession of rights, or a new bank trust. And this bank will receive this information and they will create a pre-approval. Once they have the pre-approval, they will create their own letter of instruction that goes to the notary. Once the notary has that information of what needs to go into the new title, they'll call it a project, a proyecto. They will create a draft title. Some people confuse the fact like, I don't have a title, I have a trust. Well, everybody has an escritura or a title. Just some of them have trusts inside them. So basically the notary will create a new project. It's going to be a draft. They send that back to the bank or banks, and they're going to request a pre-approval. The bank will then review the project, review all the documents, and say, yes, what I gave you before is correct, everything looks good, you can get this ready for our final signatures. The bank sends that approval to the notary. The notary then prepares the documents for final signatures. There's a couple of little extra steps in here that are behind the scenes, but essentially this is the moment where all parties come together and they sign the documents. Now I wanted to point out some common things that we do here that are a little bit different, because this process from here to here can take a long time. And that's because different banks, or also like if we have a cancellation and a new trust, this whole process will be ×2. So you're gonna see this process get doubled essentially. So there's a lot of patience that's required here, and sometimes you don't have a lot of patience and you want to get into your property. So oftentimes here, the buyer will pay the seller the money, and the seller will then give a power of attorney for somebody that's going to be here, and the buyer can take possession of their home while the seller goes off, has their money, everything's fine, and then basically it's your trusted real estate agent. Make sure you've got a trusted real estate agent that will follow this process to the end, where you finally get your physical title much further down the road. So again, this is a very abridged version of this process. Generally, when I have clients that are buying a property, I will sit down and we will go through this whole process in a lot more detail, and I can spend up to an hour actually explaining this. If you're one of those type of people that says, you know what, Tammy, you've been here a really long time, you have an amazing reputation, and I trust you, and I don't want to see the wizard behind the curtain. And if that's the case, this is all you really need to know. But if you're one of those people like myself who wants to know all the details, I'll be happy to go over all of that with you here in the office. You just make an appointment. So that's all I've got for you today. If you have any questions or you want to look at real estate with me, or you would like to list your property with me, I am excited to receive all of your new leads in the mail, in the email, or in a phone call, or send me a text. So anyway, I wish you guys all have a great day and a happy Independence Day, Mexico. Bye.